Hello viewers, today we're going to attempt to clean and service this box fan. Midea Environment Appliances manufactured, model FB50-16HP. And I say attempt because I've heard these things are very difficult to get open. While I don't think poor Chinese engineering is any match to my capacity to open something up, it is getting late, so I may not have the stamina to do this tonight. It's got some tape on here. I'm not exactly sure why. I can only imagine something broke, because this does seem to be pretty cheaply made. After all, it is entirely plastic. But let's see here if I can get this off. And let's see, there's more tape under here. It doesn't seem like anything is broken on this, but perhaps something will come apparent during the process. Okay, we got, this definitely seems like it's taped shut for some reason. Alright, so now looks like we've got one lonesome screw here on the bottom. Let's get that out of there. And I don't see any other screws. So now I guess I just gotta start guessing and see how this may come apart. Well, this looks like this wants to kind of come this way. I can see that there is some plastic tabs on the inside of the corner there. I'm not sure that's necessarily what I want. Okay, I'm not sure if that's really doing me any good. Well, yeah, I really have no idea what I'm doing here. Okay, so it looks like we got three little tabs there along that side. I don't know if those continue up on the top or not. The top's not even budging. And something just went back together. Alright, I can already see why most people would just throw this out when it quits or gets too dirty. Nope, no screws under there. I was hoping for some screws to under the switch. Okay. Well, I'm going to click through this part and I'll try to get this open. Alright, so that's the front guard off. It's kind of dirty. With that guard off, I want to run it up again and see how much more air it moves, because that guard does seem like it's very restrictive in terms of airflow. Actually, it really didn't make that much of a difference. That's kind of surprising. Now I noticed, I don't know what it is with me and warped blades, but it looks like the blade may be warping a little bit. The leading tip here is kind of this way more than it should be. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that or if it's warping. I've been getting a lot of fans of warped blades recently for some reason. So, one of the things that was concerning me about this is the way the motor is, it has like no air moving through there. And interestingly enough, this blade, and this is something I've never seen before on a newer fan, this blade actually has all these fins in here to try to pull the air through the motor. Now, I'm sure it probably doesn't really make much of any difference, but it's something. So, okay, that's too big. Let's see here. That came off relatively easily, and so did that. Okay. So here's the motor, and again, there's really no air holes. I don't know how in the world this is possibly cooling off. I've only had it on for a few minutes, but it's not even warm. Well, I guess I have to get the rear guard off in order to get to some of the screws that keep the motor in place. Okay, got everything apart. Had to be a little rough with it, but it came. So here's the motor. Let's see if we can get this ridiculous plastic cover off the motor. I don't understand why they put that there. I can only imagine that just restricts airflow to the motor. Oh, good grief, I am never going to get this thing back together. What a pain that's going to be. Still don't come off. What in the world did they do this? Oh, I think I see what's going on here. I think these screws don't keep the motor together. I think the motor is crimped together. Okay. Value that holds. So here's the motor itself, and I have to say, it doesn't seem like it's of a bad construction quality at all. It's a, let's see how many poles, 2, 4, looks like an 8-pole motor. And the connection has got a nice plug to it. Goes into a PC board, all the windings connect to a PC board. The only problem is they don't want you getting into this thing to oil it. Because you can see here, it's crimped together with these little tabs. Now, it happens to have a pretty good spin down time, so I kind of don't really want to mess with it. I can get in here. Actually, it's got oil all over the place. I don't even know all over the place, but definitely some oil there. I can get into this. You can unbend these tabs and kind of, you know what? Just for the fun of it, let's go into the motor here. See what it looks like. This does need to come off first, and what I will do is see how easily these things are going to unbend. Oh wow. Okay. Well, that's not going to come as easy as I thought it would. I think that did it for that one. Alright. That should... I think that should open it up. No, it's not, though. Yeah, that's not even wanting to budge. Well, I thought I could get in there. Clearly it's not going to come with any bit of ease. I hope I didn't like weld this shut or something. Jeez, this is not going to come open. Well, since it still works and doesn't really need to be opened for any reason other than curiosity. Oh, that's cool. The tab just broke right off. I'm not going to open it. We'll wait until it locks up or something, should it ever get used enough to even do that. Gee, I thought that would be a lot easier than it is. Well, that's disappointing. I guess that's one thing the 3733 has going for it. It can be opened up and cleaned a little bit easier than this can. Alright, well, How does this cover? Nothing like screws in or anything. It's all just rigged in there somehow. It's a very stupid and annoying design. It looks like this should turn to release the strain relief, and it does, I think. Or perhaps that just does absolutely nothing. It releases it that way. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to go the other way. That's not going to come off. That's some kind of proprietary cord thing. Well, that's going to make the cleaning a little bit of a pain, because I can't detach the motor. Well, I guess what I'll do is I'll just put the motor into a bag and hope for the best. Okay, it's been cleaned the most I can bother with it. Came out pretty good. So everything's kind of wet still, but I just don't care. I'm putting it back together anyways. So let's get the motor out. Something tells me this is going to be an absolutely dreadful process. So I want to get started before it gets too late and then I get too tired and this turns into a multi-day production. So let's see here. The cord is going to go up like this. That's going to sit like that. This is going to go like this. I'll quick through this part because this is going to take a while. I just noticed there's some of that tape on the inside of the fan, on the bar here, so I almost wonder if that tape for whatever reason came from the factory. It does kind of look like mass manufacturing tape. That's quite odd. I think I've discovered what that tape is for. I believe the tape is to insulate the wires from this metal plate here, which I guess is not a bad idea, although for something stationary like this I don't see what difference it makes. But I'll put that back. That actually wasn't bad at all. Putting it together was much easier than I was expecting it to be. It wasn't exactly a walk in the park, but I had a lot less difficulty getting it assembled than I did getting it disassembled. Now that I understand the way it works, I probably could disassemble it much easier than the first time around. Actually, in a strange way, I kind of enjoyed putting that back together. I like mechanical puzzles like that. Anyways, so we were not able to service the motor because of the kooky issue with the thing not splitting apart. When it comes down to it, if I happen to use this enough for it to lock up, I think what I may do is drill a hole in the rear bearing to drop some oil in that way, because I don't know why it doesn't split apart. I really have no idea. Anyways, now that it's clean and wet, let's go ahead and test it again. Something in the way of the tripod here. Let's test it again and see if the performance has improved at all. Start off on low. Oh, wow. The performance has improved substantially. Very good, very good. It's moving notably more air than it was prior to the cleaning. Wow, not bad at all. 2. 3. Actually, I think it got a little louder, because this is kind of loud. Although, it's pushing at a decent amount of air. Yeah, a big improvement after the cleaning and servicing. Yeah, it's definitely a little louder now. However, it is moving much more air than it was before. And here's the unaltered spin down time. This is going to be presumably the same as it was before, so it didn't do anything to it. So, all in all, it's not that bad. It's really not. It's a little on the noisy side, as are most all modern plastic box fans. Really the only thing I can really knock it for is the motor. The motor should be screwed together. You can split it apart, oil it, clean the bearings, whatever. Other than that, I don't see why this is so bad. You know, the handle thing is a little weird. The handle should be in the center, but the handle thing, the motor definitely. I mean, all plastic design is kind of flaky and it's hard to service, but you know, all in all, I really can't say it's that bad.